Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear Darnie. I should see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today in a much more normal time, I suppose, to record an Animal Crossing episode. I found it very funny that I recorded yesterday's one so late. Like genuinely, it was because as I said, I went out for some drinks with some people, and then I came back reasonably late, like at 11 p.m. and then I was going to, I had a bath, and then I was going to be like, all right, I will record after that, and then I just fell asleep from it, and I woke up and I was like, whoa, what is going on? But so I decided to record Animal Crossing anyway, just to basically, honestly, just to keep the streak going. But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:34 p.m. on Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Yeah, I basically just did it to keep the streak going, and I don't even think it's the shortest episode I've done. I think I've done like a 10-minute episode before, but you can tell that. Oh, it was actually 8 minutes long. That's really funny. That partway through that episode, I was just like, why am I doing this? I should just go to sleep. But in my tired mind, I was just very much like, this is worth it. I find it kind of funny, to be perfectly honest. The Animal Crossing series is very much a sort of like a reflection. Well, I mean, I guess literally a reflection, but it's more like a chronology, I suppose, of my life. So these moments, even though they're certainly not most glamorous things, they're keepsakes that I'd like to have, I think. I don't know if I'm ever going to, watch through all of them, probably not, but I think I find them fascinating, I suppose, in so many senses of a word. I had this conversation before about oh no, I'm sorry, Vivian. Had this conversation before about how historians theoretically love the people who document the mundane, and that's, I suppose, what I'm doing. I forgot what the phrase I always say, but one random quote I made up one time, which I absolutely adore, because I feel like it's very much my sort of like modus operandi. It's sort of like, what was it? Memories are captured by the grandiose and the minutiae, or something like that. I feel like it was more graceful when I said it. Hold on, I gotta find it again. To be perfectly honest, let me see. Minutiae. What? How do you spell minutia? I thought it was like this. I said it in Discord, that's why I'm like, oh, I missed out on I. Okay, duh. Minutia. Time is captured by the memories of a minutia as well as a grand. Yes, I will keep quoting myself for as long as I still love that quote for no apparent reason. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, 1,500 episodes is actually pretty crazy. To think, I've managed to keep it up, I suppose, for this long, which is insane, all things considered, because certainly I would have thought at some point I would, forget, like I almost did yesterday, or I'd just be like, I just straight up don't have time for it. I guess, it's just kind of like I've shaped time around it, if anything, nowadays. So that's kind of like why it's managed to keep going. But there have been times which have been pretty close. Like, one of the days, I think I legitimately forgot, so I actually just recorded it the next day. I just uploaded it before. Like, I think there was one episode I recorded like at 12 p.m. or something the next day, because I was just like, wait a minute, I didn't do an Animal Crossing episode yesterday. But now it's like so ingrained into like my daily routine. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, of course I did. Or no, I've got to do it. Or slash, I don't got to do it. I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a fantastic milestone. I don't have anything planned for it. Yeah, good. Unsurprising, I don't have anything really planned for these milestones anymore. You see the fact of Fawnhallow art, still not finished. I genuinely, I had like no time this entire week. Like, I was busy Monday with D&D, then I was busy Wednesday, then I was busy Thursday, and I was busy today with D&D. Tuesday was like my only free day, and even then I still had stuff to do, so I was still basically busy. Thankfully, this weekend should be free. Last weekend was not free. And actually this weekend is also the bank holiday weekend, because Monday is also a day we're off. But yeah, I mean, last weekend I was out climbing Snowdon, so I was, again, incredibly busy. I basically had no time to work on anything that I particularly. I mean, I do have time, it's just like, sometimes I choose to do different things over time, As you can imagine, it happens. And again, I'm not in a huge rush to finish a Fawnhallow art. Because I don't feel like there's massive pressure, I suppose, to do so, because it's kind of like, whenever I do it, and honestly it's just kind of amusing to see this MS Paint from my art. Hopefully I can get some good progress done on it this weekend. I don't know if I'll finish it. I think if there was any weekend in recent time which would be a time to finish it would probably be this one, seeing as it's like I have no other like big plans coming up. The only things I really need to do is record stuff and stream, but apart from that I don't really have any like ongoing commitments that I don't think I do this weekend. So yeah, I mean, doubled across the fact that, you know, one of my friend was like, hey, you want to like do some drawing together at some point? And I was like, yeah, you know, that'll be a good time to, I suppose, do it, like set some time down for it. Whether it will happen or not, I certainly, again, who knows what might happen. Maybe I'll spend the entire weekend playing games or something instead. But I feel pretty good about this week. I mean, I felt pretty good about like most weekends. Not like regardless of whether I finish drawing a thumbnail art or anything like that. It's just like it's nice to, you know, do stuff, I suppose. And I want to play some games sometimes. So that's just how it rolls. But yeah, what should I talk about today? As I said, had a D&D session today. It was an interesting one because the last one was basically the big sort of climax. So like, as I said, the midway through Act 1 or maybe the Act 1 climax. I'm not sure if it'd be the Act 1 climax. Like, at least it's not the Act 1 climax I had in mind. So in my mind, I'm like, it's midway through Act 1. It's graduating from level 3 to level 4. Actually, both campaigns have actually synced up reasonably well with it. They both had actually pretty big fights, to be honest, at the end of it. This one was like a crazy big fight. So this one was sort of like a wind down, and I even said during the actual session itself, I was like, this kind of feels like a season, like series and like finale. Like you had a really big moment in like last week's episode, and this is like the sort of epilogue, the sort of fallout, like where they basically wrapped up like the final loose ends from whatever was going on, and then they basically just, you know, I think I mentioned before that all their characters are like in a party, like a celebration, that sort of thing. They basically went round to every character and bid them farewell, and then also invited them to go on the journey with them, which I was like, I thought it might happen. I didn't think they would do it for literally everyone, but you know, so be it. That's just how D&D goes. And there was also a fantastic moment where one of the characters, I was like, it doesn't really make sense for her to leave. So I was like, but you know, there's a chance. I was like, okay, if you roll, I will at least give you a chance to, you know, try and convince her, like her employer. And then the person got a natural 20. So I was just like, well, I'm going to stick by my word. I wouldn't have told you to roll if it wasn't impossible. And so that was very funny, to be perfectly honest. And I'm going to have to figure out exactly how that happens. So some of these characters I thought was just sort of be like one and done. Maybe you'll see them randomly here and there. Or like some of these characters will be recurring characters that you can't see that you probably wouldn't see for ages, are now going to be much more frequently recurring than I would have thought. So it's a very funny, I suppose, result of all of it. But yeah, that is happening. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to talk about, to be honest. Like, I feel like I should be talking about like milestone things, seeing as like yesterday was, as I said, episode 1500, but it was a bit of an anticlimactic one because my brain was just like, what is going on? I'm like, it's like 3 a.m. What am I doing? I don't know why there was like a line after already, but yeah. I don't know why it goes pot and then just like has the entire line. That seems like a bug. Yeah, I mean, he said we really know how to do it. Okay, yeah, what should we talk about? I don't really know. What am I going to do after this? I'm literally just going to play some games, to be perfectly honest. You know, haven't had much time, well, any time to play games. As I say, D&D takes up the evening, which I say in a very loving way. I absolutely adore playing it, to be perfectly honest. Maybe at some point I'll be like, I hate doing it, but no, I'm having a grand time at the moment. And yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. I don't know. I guess I'm just sort of glad I have like a more of a free weekend this time. I'm glad it's a bank holiday as well. Certainly, heavens no, I felt like I needed one. But yeah, milestone. I don't know, 1500. It's weird to think about because it doesn't really feel like all that much has happened. I suppose I've started streaming. That's like a really big thing which has happened, right? For this channel. We've seen the advent of like the 2D VTube model, which is also really cool, I suppose. So you know, there's been some progression. There's still a lot of that I want to do with the channel, I think. Obviously I don't really have time for it, so a lot of it's going to be a pipe dream, but I would like to get a fully animated 2D live model, and I would like to get some official like Dear Darling branding-esque art out there. You know, update it, because this is like 4 or 5 years old or something, and I drew it. It was like one of the first drawings I ever did of D or something, and you know, it's time to evolve it, I think. You know, time to update it, you know, and time to have a solid idea of who what D looks like in my mind. Actually, I should probably make like a reference sheet for her. I don't know why I've never thought to do. Well, I probably have thought to do it. I don't know why I've never actually got around to doing it at any point. But I should absolutely do that. Yeah, I don't know what else I was going to say about it. It's just cool. This is a cool milestone. It feels weird because it's not too long after, I suppose, we had the other milestone. Like, the yearly milestones feel more significant. These ones are just sort of like cool numbers, aren't they? And 1500, I guess, is a pretty big one. It's weird to think I'd still be doing this. I don't know when I'd necessarily stop as well. Maybe I'll be 30 and I'll still be doing this. I'll be like, wait, hold on, what year would that be? Like, year... the start of year... Oh, man, imagine if I get to year 10. That'd be crazy. Of doing it. Every single day. At that point, I might just be like, I kind of wish I did it on my first few days of Animal Crossing. I wonder how many other people are still doing it, because I remember I did look up once to see how many people are still doing continuous days of Animal Crossing New Horizon, like, daily vlogs. I will say that when I looked it up before, the people who were doing it were doing, like, much more, like, they were, like, doing actual sort of, like, things. I have no idea what you just asked me, Rowan, but I just said yes. They were doing like actual things, like they were actually doing stuff in Animal Crossing rather than me just doing the same thing for like the past whatever many years and just talking about it. I'm not saying that I'm discrediting myself or anything. It's it still takes, I suppose, a serious amount of dedication, I think, to do so. It's just more like a, oh yeah. I forget that you can still, not I forget, but like there are people still, it's great that people are still out there, you know, playing Animal Crossing as it is meant to be played, like a daily game you sort of check into and have a nice time, relaxing time with your villagers and doing stuff, progressing in whatever meaningful way that you want to. And that's something which is defined differently for each person. Yeah, I don't know, what am I going to do? I might create a new Neopet, you know. I'm slowly getting back on Neopets craze again because of this idea of a new plot which is coming, which is basically like a site-wide quest which is going on. And because there's been so many like nice sort of quality of life features, I suppose, introduced since I've last started playing, I'm just like, oh, it's like a lot easier for me to get Neo points. Maybe I can finally get all my dream pets, as I say. All 14 of them eventually. I'm on 6 out of 14, I guess. The next one I'm trying to get, you might be like, what is it? I'm trying to get a woodland Saibunny. Thing is, woodland Saibunny morphing potions and woodland paintbrushes are both very expensive. They're like 4 million, which I can afford. I have like 17 million, I think, in my bank, but it's something I do want to just like keep an eye on. Like, it's not like I play it enough to get huge amounts of money. Well, I guess I could, because like you max out your interest on 10 million. I don't know, it's just sort of like you get more returns the more money you have in your bank. And I'm like not in a rush to immediately customize you. So, I don't know, at some point make number 7. I actually, hold on, there's like a Neopet slot limit, isn't there? Neopet pet limit. Up to 20. Oh, all accounts get 6, and active premium subscribers get +4 as a perk. Okay. How much is premium? I don't even know what Neopets premium gives you. I know you get like a species change as one of the things, right? I'll look it up. Would I get it? I'm not sure. Ads. Okay, Super Shop Wizard. Space Fairy scratch cards. Monthly trading cards. Extra galley. A lot of these don't really. Aren't bad. Free species change. A yearly species change is interesting. Something, I don't know. It doesn't really seem worth it to me. Well, at least not personally for me. I'd much rather just buy like one-time pet slots or something. If I will. I guess I don't need it at the moment. Although I guess if I do want to make another Neopet, I didn't think about the fact that I will need to. I also wanted to spread out the birthdays of my Neopets. I don't know necessarily when each one's is. How do I see? 16th of August. I look at my Neo lookup. Is this how it works? Yeah, this is how it works. Does it matter? No. July? It's April. April as well. 19th April, 28th of April, 19th July, 8th of March, 16th of August, 4th of May. Oh. What? I can give them very close birthdays. So hold on. March, April, May. Another 2 Aprils. July, August. I guess I can wait till June to make another one. They're all in the spring to summer months. You can tell when I get back into Neopets, it's probably always around the event times. There's always when there's like fairy quest events or the festival of an eggs. Yeah. What else was gonna say? I have no videos in the backlog currently, so that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to wake up, I'll play some games, probably get ready, do whatever small things I need to do, and start recording. And then maybe do some drawing. I don't really know. Who knows? I've got the whole weekend ahead of me. We don't need to think too hard about it. Stuff will happen when it happens. But it's cool to have a milestone. It's nice to have a sort of like reflection as time goes by, you know? What am I going to talk about? I don't know. It's been 15 minutes into this. I can't have another, like, reflection episode. I feel like I have so many, like, reflection episodes. But I guess I've also hit many milestones, so maybe that's not really the craziest thing in the world, is it? That's just how it happens, yeah? I don't really know what to talk about. I was going to talk about D&D, I was going to reflect upon like milestones, but again, I mean, it simultaneously feels like I haven't really done all that much for the channel, but also I guess we have done like a decent amount, you know? I mean, live streaming is a big thing, and it's pretty fun. I definitely should have started it like way earlier, but again, it's hard to get the motivation to necessarily do this, right? Sometimes you just got to find the time for it. And find the time we did. Yeah, I don't know. Is there any other things that I'm planning for the channel? Is it on the horizon? Is it coming soon? I would say that probably like a new avatar, new banner. I would say it feels reasonably plausible, but I would get it done within the next like 3 months or so. I don't really know. I got to think. Like, because when am I going on holiday next? July or June? I think it must be June, right? No, it's... Yeah, well, no, it is June. Okay, start of June, going on holiday. For how long? A week or so? And then nothing in July and August. And late August. Yeah, okay. A D&D session on my birthday? I didn't realise that. Anyway, that's ways off in the future. We'll see how it happens. Things are cool. Ugh. Things are cool. I wish I had something more. Normally this is where I had some like sagacious thing. Is that how you use that word, sagacious? Like sage, like, right? Like, yeah, quick and wise. Some like sagacious phrase to say here, but I don't think it needs to be said. I feel like all these sort of things I've said before, and plus, you know, it's post D&D campaign, so my brain is sort of just like, oh, and like recharging from improvisation roleplay mode. All these random voices I had to do back and forth. Was it consistent? No. And that's one thing. I would very much like to keep a more consistent voice for these NPC characters, which is a great thing, you know. And I do love the concept of voice acting, but I still have a long ways to go. I cannot hold for the life of me an Australian accent. I found a good way to get into it, but no, I go, oh, Bluey, bingo. I think about Blue and bingo. Or I think about, that's not a knife, this is a knife. Sniping's a good job, mate. But I can't hold the accent. But I can't hold the like it just keeps going like it's like some, I don't know. But I can't hold the accent. I like your hat. Oh, I like your hat. I like your hat. Ah, nah, mate. Australian. Down here we I don't know. I can't hold it as a thing. But some accents I can hold. Like I can hold a French and I can hold a Southern accent. Yeah, I don't really know. Oh, life's nice. It's a cool milestone. So I'm glad that we've surpassed it, and let's see what other ones which will soon come our way. But on that note, I'm going to round this episode up here. So if you haven't watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye bye for now.